Quantum Capitalist by Renee Garcia. From poverty psychology to wealth using practical quantum mechanics. Introduction. Reality often seems cruel, doesn't it? All too frequently, we find ourselves at a crossroads, compelled to exchange something invaluable, our time, our integrity, for the allure of power or the necessity of money. You sense it, right? That unsettling discord when the world demands you prioritize profit above all else. That internal whisper questioning if this is all life has to offer. A deep yearning for more, for a balance between wealth and enlightenment. Welcome to Quantum Capitalism. It's not just a theory, but a promise. A conduit between material accomplishment and spiritual awakening. It respects the essence of our conventional systems, but also dares to imagine beyond them. Quantum capitalism awaits those prepared to confront some uncomfortable truths and adopt a radically new viewpoint. Are you among the chosen? Let's unpack this. Quantum mechanics. At its heart, quantum mechanics delves into the intriguing, often paradoxical world of the subatomic. It suggests that particles, such as electrons and photons, linger in a probabilistic state, simultaneously existing in various locations until directly observed. This intricate dance between potentiality and reality upends our customary perceptions. While our physical world adheres to classical physics, the quantum realm narrates a different story, one where particles exhibit mysterious entanglements across vast expanses. Reality can shift almost magically, and the mere act of observation influences the narrative. Essentially, quantum mechanics portrays a universe that's profoundly interconnected and more pliable than our day-to-day experiences indicate. Classical capitalism. This is the well-known framework wherein trade and industry pivot to private ambitions, predominantly for profit. While capitalism has undeniably catalyzed societal advancement and ignited dreams, it's not without its shadows. Despite its merits, capitalism can evolve into a voracious entity, spawning passive, zombified followers, imposing stifling conventions, and endorsing exploitation. The aftermath, a pervasive culture of scarcity, unbridled ego-driven objectives, and an ever-widening chasm from our spiritual roots. Ever watched The Matrix? It portrayed reality as a contrived illusion, with only a chosen few breaking free to perceive the vastness beyond. This reality, as insinuated by the movie, stretches beyond the confines of our conditioned mindsets. Quantum mechanics supports this view, shedding light on the deeper layers of our existence. Anchored in quantum tenets, the knowledge in front of you presents a daring promise. You can achieve prosperity, indulge in comfort, and guarantee security without falling prey to the intrinsic drawbacks of classical capitalism. Marrying material prosperity with spiritual growth is not just a dream, it's achievable. Picture this: harnessing the insights from quantum mechanics while capitalizing on the world's opportunities, all while transcending societal constraints and emerging as a version of yourself that not only sidesteps entrenched inadequacies, but also facilitates global rejuvenation. Should these words resonate, understand that you're poised at the brink of a revolutionary paradigm, a system that revamps your worldly rapport and reimagines affluence. It's an opportunity to prosper without forsaking your soul. Tired of the ceaseless rat race, tormented by perpetual inadequacy, or seeking refuge from relentless stress? This enlightenment might be your guiding star. If you desire a life replete with financial freedom, comfort, and security, all while pursuing your passions. If you yearn to transform life's mundane elements into gold, or if you seek a perspective that discerns positivity, advantage, and growth in every scenario, then quantum capitalism might just be the beacon you've been searching for. This is your call to action, a beacon in the haze of conventional thinking. Through these pages, We will venture into uncharted territories, seeking a future where wealth and wisdom are two sides of the same coin. The question now is, are you prepared to take this leap? To explore a realm where your true potential, both material and spiritual, awaits? Because the future of capitalism is not just about accumulation, it's about awakening. Before we dive headfirst into the realms of quantum capitalism, let's set the stage for what lies ahead. You see, while quantum mechanics is often the star of the show, our references might occasionally take a detour into the intriguing domain of astrophysics. The beauty of this journey lies in its diversity. Much like the cosmos itself, quantum mechanics, with its subatomic enigmas and probabilistic dance, undoubtedly forms the bedrock of our exploration. But don't be surprised if we wander into the awe-inspiring expanses of astrophysics, where galaxies collide, black holes devour light, and cosmic threads weave the fabric of the universe. These are not opposing forces, but complementary facets of our cosmic understanding. So, dear reader, I urge you to wear a flexible lens, for we are traversing a multidimensional tapestry where quantum mechanics and astrophysics coalesce, transcending boundaries and expanding our horizons in tandem.
Foreword by Chris Majeski. Everybody everywhere has his own movie going, his own scenario, and everybody is acting his movie out like mad. Only most people don't know that is what they're trapped by, their little script. Tom Wolfe. What's real to you? What are you capable of achieving? And where are your perceived limits that keep you from living the life you've always dreamed of? Big questions indeed. We now live in a time where facts and previously held beliefs seem more flexible than ever. Science is continually proving how weird the universe is at the most galactic and microscopic levels. Given the phenomena of fake news, reality TV, social media, AI, the metaverse, it's hard to now argue against the fact that there are almost 8 billion people on Earth, all living in their own reality. Some are very similar, others are worlds apart. An easy way to illustrate this is to head over to Amazon and read some of the 1- and 2-star reviews for a book or item that you personally love. You'll find it hard to understand how someone's perspective can contradict yours. We often view these people as stupid or out of touch, but that's probably the same way they feel about you. We're all watching the same screen, but projecting different movies. Most of our movies are like small, lower-budget, independent films, which few others ever see. But then, there are the movies that win awards, global recognition, and make an impact for generations. Okay, with that rant over, you may be wondering, that's all great. But what the hell is a quantum capitalist? Capitalism and quantum physics are two of the most exciting, grand-scale reality movies ever projected onto the screen. They revolutionized systems that were in place before them. Similarly, with Quantum Capitalist, Renee Garcia has made a massive innovation to the world of personal reality creation, more popularly known as the law of attraction. More specifically, she's taken the power of a school of thought known as Reality Transurfing and made it more digestible, impactful, and actionable. More on that in a minute. But to set the stage, it's essential to introduce some of the themes Renee uses to achieve her aim. Renee begins Quantum Capitalist with a sobering wake-up call. We all exist in an artificial simulation of reality that few of us have, up to this point, had a say in. For the more skeptical reader, I refer you to the words of one of the OGs of advertising and public relations. The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. We are governed, our minds are molded, our tastes formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men we have never heard of. Edward Bernays, Propaganda, 1928. The nephew of Sigmund Freud, Bernays was employed by both the U.S. government as well as major corporations to help mold ideas, tastes, and minds. He created a reality where getting involved in World War I was the right thing, despite an overwhelming majority of Americans' opinions opposing getting involved. He also created a reality where smoking cigarettes symbolized women's liberation and independence, while making his tobacco company clients and himself rich as hell. Fast forward to today. The manufactured matrix has grown and evolved as if it were on technological steroids. Advertisers, politicians, cognitive scientists, social media platforms, and intelligence agencies have used tech and the internet to build skyscrapers on the psychological foundations laid by Bernays. The information revolution has shifted the global paradigm to the same degree as the Industrial Revolution. The point of all of this is that reality is constantly shifting. Movies are quickly followed up by sequels, and this is evident when we try to understand just what the universe is made of in the first place. The Quantum Revolution. Around the same time Ed Bernays was blacksmithing new social realities, some physicists were making shocking discoveries that upended everything we knew about what the world is actually made of. I won't pretend to claim any significant understanding of quantum physics. However, even the most rudimentary awareness of its discoveries is nothing short of mind-blowing. The stuff the universe is made out of, including me and you, doesn't act like the stuff we can see. Particles exist as both individual things as well as waves of probability that are everywhere until observed. Quantum theory shows that reality isn't fixed like a game of billiards where everything that exists can be accurately calculated. We are direct participants in its creation. Your consciousness plays a role in establishing the world you live in. Consider the following quote. I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness. We cannot get behind consciousness. Everything that we talk about, everything that we regard as existing, postulates consciousness. As much as that sounds like a quote from the Dalai Lama, it's actually from Nobel Prize Award winner Max Planck, physicist and one of the pioneers of quantum theory. The implications of what Planck said are enormous. 50 years after Planck, a physicist at Princeton University named Hugh Everett projected the many worlds interpretation, MWI, of quantum mechanics. Before Everett, the most widely taught interpretation of quantum mechanics was known as the Copenhagen interpretation. This interpretation says that when a quantum system is observed, its wave function collapses to a single outcome. For instance, when you measure the spin of an electron, it's either up or down. However, the wave function before measurement describes the electron as being in a superposition of both states. Everett's MWI says things are a lot freakier than that. Instead of wave function collapse, he suggested that all possible outcomes of a quantum measurement actually occur but in different branches of the universe. So, if you measure an electron's spin, there is one universe where it's up and another where it's down. Each time a quantum event has multiple possible outcomes, the universe splits into multiple branches. The most striking implication of MWI is the existence of a vast multiverse of parallel universes. Every quantum event creates a multitude of universes that are all equally real. In a nutshell, in some parallel universe, you are already living the life of your dreams. And Everett's theories in modern times are gaining wider acceptance among scientists. Capitalism, beyond good and evil. Let's shift gears now. What comes to your mind when you hear the word capitalism? Greed, success, the American dream? At its best, capitalism can drive innovation, generate wealth, and improve living standards. Ideally, anyone can enter the competitive market and create improved products, services, and living conditions through innovation and hard work. However, Capitalism can lead to inequality, with wealth concentrated in the hands of a few while perpetuating socioeconomic disparities. Additionally, we've seen profits be prioritized over people on too many occasions. While Ed Bernays and Max Planck were forging their respective new realities, Russia was producing a massive reality movie called Communism, which featured capitalism as the evil anti-hero. We all know how that movie ended. Coincidentally, it was out of the failed Russian reality of communism that a new reality creation methodology emerged. Former Russian quantum physicist Vadim Zeland created Reality Transurfing. This modality incorporated elements of the law of attraction, Taoism, Buddhism, quantum theory, and shamanism, among others, into a new psycho-spiritual war of choosing the life one wants. When I first came across it around 2015, it blew me away. But there were some obstacles. For one, the book Reality Transurfing Steps 1 through 5 is encyclopedic in length. Some of the translations from Russian to English made for a sometimes clunky understanding of the concepts. Also, there needed to be more specific instructions or action steps. Renee Garcia has drawn from all of the ideologies mentioned above to forge a concept of quantum capitalism. One might argue, there's nothing spiritual about capitalism. This is purely a pursuit of the ego, an illusion. That may be true. Sitting somewhere in meditation and dissolving the ego might be an option for those who don't have bills to pay or other societal obligations. For the rest of us, the ego is a necessary aspect of our being, helping us navigate modern culture and provide for ourselves and our families. The ego is simply another tool you can use to create your own reality. Humans are generative beings. We are creators. The ego can be an asset. In Quantum Capitalist, you'll learn how to reduce its importance and leverage it to new states or personal power. Renee invites you to consider capitalism as not merely a system of external trade and profit, but a living, breathing entity that reflects our collective consciousness. Each thought you harbor, each feeling you nurse, and each intention you nurture are akin to the currency being traded in a vast, unseen market, a market where reality itself is the commodity on offer. Your capital refers to much more than just money. It's your energy, time, and vibration. These are the resources you invest into creating a life worth living as defined by you. But like in the stock market, progress isn't linear. There will be ups and downs. If you've ever seen a stock price chart, your personal lifeline price chart could look similar. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Investing some of your capital into working with this book's material will teach you how to keep the falls less dramatic and the rises more regular and inspiring. And like the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, little changes or actions can switch you to a chain of events that carries you to a reality you love. Life can be easy, enjoyable, and fun. Becoming a quantum capitalist isn't about manifesting $1 million next week. It's about feeling like $1 million, which, ironically, is when financial abundance seems to appear as a byproduct. You'll understand why as you read the book. The tricky part about any manifestation ideology, like law of attraction, is best summed up by a legendary quantum capitalist, Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. When one refers to metaphysical sciences like quantum capitalism as, "This stuff is a bunch of bullshit," guess what? They're right. At least they're correct in how they've limited their capacity as creative beings. Unfortunately, this applies to the overwhelming percentage of the population. After all, piercing holes in the matrix is no easy task. But like the capitalism and quantum theory revolutions, the tide is slowly turning. Quantum Capitalist is a manifesto of embracing and thriving with ideas still hard for most to grasp. The phrase, investing in yourself, was never so poignant. Quantum capitalists are the ones who thrive amid the naysayers through solid investments in themselves. and they're the ones that go on to change the world. So I urge you to keep your mind open and believe in your natural ability as a reality creator. Don't just read this book. Absorb it. Prove it to yourself. One of the aspects of the reality transurfing modality that appealed to me was that it asked you to accept nothing based on blind faith or authority. Instead, the reader was instructed to experiment with the concepts themselves and see if the proof was in the proverbial pudding, so to speak. Unfortunately, this also led to a significant amount of confusion. As I mentioned, the original body of work comprising Reality Transurfing is exceptionally long. And while it makes for inspiring and thought-provoking reading, there is a noticeable lack of brass tacks instructions to put the rubber to the road regarding implementing the concepts into daily life. At the time, virtually nobody in North America had heard of this book, and one was left alone to figure it all out. Then, I stumbled across Renee Garcia. Renee had become the only English-speaking transurfing instructor certified by the author himself. She saw the same paradigm-shifting potential in this work and realized that people in the West could greatly benefit from it. So she undertook the formidable task of bringing this knowledge to the North American audience in more easily digestible ways. In all honesty, I was about ready to set transurfing aside. I was suffering from paralysis by over-analysis, stuck reading and rereading through the hundreds of pages of the original work and getting lost in theory. I was in a rut, stuck in a dead-end job and numbing myself with alcohol on the weekends. When I found Renee online, I reached out with questions that were keeping me chained to a lower version of myself. With one email, her response altered my perspective on my challenges. She shed light on how I was putting way too much strain and importance into trying to do reality transurfing. I immediately recognized her ability to make this stuff make sense to those who needed clarity. With a reignited passion, I began following Renee's work as she began teaching reality transurfing in ways I could relate to. I finally started to loosen my reins on the victim mentality that I didn't even realize I had adopted. My job sucks. How do I always get stuck in these dead-end positions? I can never catch any lucky breaks. Why do I keep repeating the same mistakes in life? Renee's interpretation of the principles of reality transurfing, so masterfully broken down into action steps in this book, cleared something that was blocked in my heart and mind. Now, I had a game plan. Now, I had explicit tools to deal with the ebbs and flows of life. Now, I could surf the waves of reality that had previously almost drowned me. Through Renee's own methodology of anomalous action, I began seeking means of self-employment that were more in line with my interests, but which I had abandoned due to their being unrealistic. Fast forward to today. I'm happily self-employed as a marketing consultant and financial derivatives trader. At 43, I'm in the best shape of my life. I live each day as a mini-adventure instead of dreading dragging myself out of bed in the morning. Had Quantum Capitalism been around all those years ago, it would have saved me a ton of frustration in working with these esoteric concepts on my own. But I do believe that things happen for a reason. The killer news is that you can benefit from Renee's superhuman work ethic and expertise in this field, and not have to sink enormous amounts of time into deciphering the original teachings for yourself. And you sure as hell don't need to take my word for it. Just begin reading this book and applying what you learn. Be patient with yourself. Don't underestimate the programming that we've all been subjected to. It may take time to rewrite your spiritual software. When you see your life begin to shift in new and beneficial ways, that momentum then builds fast as you further refine your ability to star in a reality movie more to your desires. This ability to choose where you want to go is what quantum capitalism can offer you too, no matter what your ideal reality looks like. This book is a manual on how to get there. The references I made in this introduction should, at the very least, let you consider that reality is malleable. New movies are continually being released. The Matrix is real. Most will never even become aware of it. But participation in it isn't obligatory. The only question is, will you be sitting in the seats watching someone else's movie with the precious time you have left in this life? Or will you be directing one?
How to engage with this revolutionary guide. This isn't just a book. It's a cerebral revolution, dynamically rewiring your belief systems. Prepare to embark on an intellectual odyssey that will challenge the very foundations of your understanding. You might be asking, why all the fuss? This tome is more than mere words on paper. It's your gateway to pioneering insights, a portal to concepts that challenge the status quo. Navigating this wisdom is akin to piecing together a complex, beautiful puzzle. Each concept, each fragment you connect, gradually reveals a stunning, paradigm-altering vista. You'll soon be asking yourself, how did I ever see the world in just black and white? Here's the raw truth. Your current reality is but a shadow of the potential that awaits. This book is your lens to view life in its pure, unfiltered form. Picture your life as it is now, an Instagram snapshot, edited and angled for effect. Now, imagine the quantum you, unbounded, real, the essence of potential. This book is where quantum mechanics shakes hands with self-development, a fusion that will challenge and invigorate you. Even if just a fraction resonates, it will send ripples through your existence. For those brave enough to turn the volume up on life, this is your anthem. Most books are fleeting distractions, enjoyable but transient. This one, it's a feast for the mind. Savor it. As you step into this electrifying journey, your former self may resist. It's the moment of truth. Do you heed the call of the familiar? Or do you step boldly into a new realm of understanding? Embrace each breakthrough, seek deeper understanding, and celebrate the transformation. In time, you'll look back at this decision as the moment your life transformed. Fast forward to a future moment when you'll reflect on this decision and recognize it as the turning point. This isn't hyperbole. It's a commitment to your journey. So, intrepid explorer, are you ready to dive deep into the unknown and discover your true essence? Will you take the red pill and see just how deep the rabbit hole goes? Before we launch into this unparalleled adventure, ensure you're fully equipped. Pre-launch checklist. Gear up for your metaphysical voyage. 1. Join our dynamic Quantum Capitalists Facebook group for an extra layer of support, guidance, and vibrant discussions that complement your journey through these pages. 2. Dive into the digital sphere, where Renee Garcia brings these concepts to life on YouTube, making the complex beautifully simple. 3. The Juggernaut Journal. This isn't just a diary. It's your mental sanctuary. Here, you'll document every insight, every epiphany, every challenge. It's a haven if you're dedicated to transformation. Select a journal that echoes your spirit, one that feels like an extension of yourself. Then pay special attention to the Your Next Power Move sections. They're not just crucial, they're transformative. Without engaging in these activities, true progress remains elusive. These exercises are fundamental to your initiation into quantum capitalism. To manifest a reality beyond the ordinary, you must actively break free from the mundane and commit to the action steps provided. Got your gear sorted? Fantastic. Strap in and let the introspection begin. About me. I shouldn't be here. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Born into the farthest thing from an idyllic life, I was the oldest of 5 kids in a household that hovered around the poverty line. To my family, I was less of a cherished child and more of an inconvenient burden. Feeling undernourished and unloved, I set out into the world prematurely, armed with a 9th grade education and a backpack full of limiting beliefs. As a young adult, I dove headfirst into the depths of life's lower levels: abusive relationships, minimum wage jobs, and strip dancing, crushing debt, low self-worth, drug and alcohol addiction, you name it. By my mid-20s, life had beaten me down, left me with nothing to show for it, and was crushing me under its weight. But then, a miracle. A small, unexpected spark that ignited my evolution out of debt and poverty and propelled me to unexplainable heights. Eventually, I was living a life of luxury, sailing single-handedly on my own yacht, jet-setting with the elite, and living the lifestyle of the rich and famous. And yet, I was absolutely miserable. I'd lost touch with myself, trying to prove something to the world. I was in a death spiral with poverty mentality that only seemed to intensify as my bank account grew. Cue epic nervous breakdown. I released myself from the life I had created and retreated into the woods in the Pacific Northwest to lick my wounds. It was there that I stumbled upon a body of mystic knowledge that transformed me and my reality before my very eyes. Incredible things happened during that time, things so profound that I knew I had to share this knowledge with the world. Today, I lead a thriving community of others who are sharing in the knowledge I extend within this book. I have found my purpose, my reason to leap out of bed in the morning, and life looks entirely different than I ever could have imagined. Today, I live the life of my absolute dreams. 0 debt, financial accomplishments, and most importantly, recovery from debilitating poverty mentality, trauma, learned helplessness, and succumbing to lower programming. Life has taken on a dreamlike hue, and I'm here to shout from the rooftops that this is available for you too. Join me on this journey. Let's transform our realities together.